Hi everyone, if you're getting this email, it's because your published grades in Canvas did not come over properly. Wayne and Adair and I did some testing and we have found it was one of two things. Now, Monday I sent an email about making sure the grading scheme is set in your course. Uh, I'm willing to bet a number of you do not have a grading scheme, and that is why the grades didn't come over. CAMS cannot pick up a report from Canvas with no letter grade attributed to it. So if you don't set the grading scheme, there's no grade, it doesn't happen. Okay, the other problem, and we have found this in a couple of other classes, if the instructor used the plus and minus grading scale, A minus, B plus, you get the deal, that caused a problem. CAMS cannot read the plus or minus grades. So as long as your student got an A, B, C, or D, or an F, their grade came over. However, any student that got a plus or a minus grade, A minus, B plus, those did not come over. So you may find that half of your class, or I won't say half, but say a portion of your class who fell in the plus minus grade scale, their grades did not come over into CAMS. So at this point, I would like you to go in and correct your grading scheme, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a few steps. Now, I did make that other video earlier. You can always go back and refer to that, but I'm going to be redundant here and show you again. Okay, so right now I'm in a course. I'm in this dummy course, this Canvas 101 course. And the first thing you'll do once you log into your course and you're on the front page is go to the settings and then double check and look and see if the grading scheme is set. In this case, it says not set, so there is no grading scheme. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set up a 10-point grading scale. You would click Edit Course Details, enable the grading scheme, set the grading scheme. Now here's the default one that you may have used, and if you did, that's the problem. These pluses and minuses ain't going to get the job done. So let's go ahead and click on the magnifying glass, and then we're going to pick one of these ones that are in the list. You're going to see a 10-point and an SU that's already there. I have some extras in here, but you'll just get those two by default, and those were set up by Todd Pavlak earlier. So if you want a 10-point grading scale, you'll select it, click Use this grading standard, click Done, and then the last step is to click Update Course Details. The page will refresh, and after it's done, it will say 10-point letter. So there you'll have a grading scale. Now when you go to the gradebook, you will see, well, this is a dummy course, there's nothing in here, but you'll notice there's a bunch of F's in here. That's because the grading scale has been attributed to it. Prior to this, there would be no letter grade in this box, just the percentages. So by enabling the grading scale, we now have a letter grade. Okay, let's go back. All right, so here's how we fix the other problem. If the default grade scale was used, so we'll log into our course and click on the settings, and this is where we'll find out if we use the default grading scheme. And you'll notice that's what it says right here. This is the grading scheme with the plus and minus grades that CAMS can't read. So the first thing we'll do is click Edit Course Details, uncheck this checkbox, and then update the course details. Now it's going to reset the page and there'll be no grade scheme, which is what we want. So now it is not set. That basically clears the grading scheme out completely, and it's not in there anymore. So now we need to get the one that we want. So we're going to go to Edit Course Details. Now we're going to turn it back on. Click the hyperlink just like we did before. Now this is where that scale popped up. So if you click Done right now, it's going to give you this grading scale. So what you need to do is select the magnifying glass, and then in this case we could pick a 10-point letter, and we're going to use that. Click Done, Update Course Details. Now after this refreshes, it'll have the 10-point letter in there. Say you wanted to curve your grading scale or change it to a 7-point or something like that. You can look at the grading scheme, click the pencil, and now we can make changes to this grading scheme. And one thing you're going to have to do is, sorry, I'm just typing random numbers in here, but one thing you'll have to do is name this something other than 10-point letters so we don't get rid of our 10-point letter. But you might want to write curved or whatever it is you want to call it, and click Save. Then click Done, and then update the course details. The page will refresh, and it should give us the curved grading scale. Okay, there we go. So now it tells you which one that was in there. You got to remember to name it, or otherwise this will show up blank. It'll still have a grade scale, but it'll be blank if you don't name it. Okay, so that's how you get rid of the plus and minus grading scale, and then add a new one or edit the 10-point scale into what you want, your point values that you want. So hopefully this helps. You're welcome to give me a call. Please go through this process. Make sure, if you're on this list, there's a problem. Make sure it's one of these two problems. You either use the plus or minus grade scale, or you did not set a grade scale at all. Once this is fixed, go back to, and you can even stay in the screen, go to Brick Grade Publishing and publish the grades again. If you want to check to make sure everything's set up the way you want it to be, you can go to the grade book. And the way to tell is there'll be a letter grade here in the total column now. If you didn't have a grade scale, there'd be no letter grade. If you use the plus minus, you might have a couple of grades in here with a plus minus. In fact, if you're getting this email, you probably do have one with a plus or minus in there. So that's how you take care of this. So hopefully this helps. And again, give me a call if you have any questions. Thanks.